Howdy, Janksters. I've got a best of one brew that is right up my alley. I love filling my graveyard. I love just being able to tangle with aggro decks, and best of one is something that's really difficult right now, and this deck can do it. We have early interaction, we have a lot of incidental life gain, and we have a big haymaker punch at the end of the game once we've set things up that our opponent will have a difficult time coming back from. Now, that big haymaker is Aatchik Emerald Radiant. 3/3 for 6, not a great rate, but just stick with me here. When Aatchik enters, we make a 1/1 green insect creature token for each artifact and creature in our graveyard. So as we're filling our graveyard just throughout the course of the early turns, we're going to end up with this gigantic 6-drop that also brings along with it, I don't know, 6, 7, 10 bugs, to join the party. And as those things are dying, Aatchik grows and we deal additional damage to our opponent. So against aggro, which I keep bringing that up because that's going to be one of our better matchups. This deck is optimized to fight that, which is why I'm playing it in best of one. In best of 3, if we were to modify the sideboard, I don't think this would, or if we were to add a sideboard rather, I don't think this deck would be particularly good. But if you're just looking for some fun graveyard nonsense in best of 1, that isn't just the Zombify Valgavoth package, although that's great too, this is another angle that's pretty darn fun. The other thing that's great is that we're leveraging all of these insects to really good advantage, and we have the Swarmweaver in Duskmourn, who is clearly designed to fit into this same archetype. It's a 4-drop that makes 2 flying black and green insects when it enters, and it gives all of our other insects and spiders 1/1 and Death Touch, assuming that we have Delirium, which, with how quickly we're churning through our stuff, that's not going to be hard to do at all. And the Swarmweaver itself is an artifact creature, so if one copy of this finds its way into our graveyard through a mill, or if it were to die and we play another follow-up, it counts for both of those, which is great. Artifact-wise, we have quite a bit as well. We have the Broodheart Engine, which surveils each turn and is a reanimation spell, effectively. This is a great way for us to cheat out a Swarmweaver or Aatchik if we're able to mill them into our graveyard. Because for only 4, we can just sacrifice it and just bring those creatures on out. It's pretty fantastic. I'm a big fan. We also have Grim Bauble, which is just an artifact that is an early kill spell. If our opponent drops a good 1-drop, this can usually respond to it. And on top of that, be an artifact if we were to mill it as far as Delirium or Aatchik's trigger is concerned. You love to see it. We're also rocking Scavenger's talent because, honestly, this is one of the most underappreciated cards that we have in current Standard. None of the major meta decks are really leveraging it. However, the potential here for any deck that can take advantage, if you're going to be sacrificing creatures, if you have creatures that are going to die regularly, this thing rules. I'm a huge fan. And on top of that, it gives you a sack outlet in its 3rd mode. So if you can invest the 6 mana throughout the course of the game, get this thing all the way leveled up, being able to sacrifice 3 insects, get 3 Aatchik triggers, and then return a Swarmweaver or another Aatchik from the graveyard to get even more triggers going, it's silly. It's silly good. I love it. So I gotta say, Scavenger's Talent fits this deck like a glove. It's also an enchantment for the Delirium, as far as Swarmweaver is concerned. Speaking of enchantments, we also have Dredger's Insight. This is going to be some incidental life gain. It's going to help us hit our land drops, and it's going to be filling our graveyard like a champ. If you get 1 trigger with this thing, like if one of these enters, you're going to gain a life and probably have Delirium online immediately. Some versions of this deck, I did experiment with the Patchwork Beastie, which is the 1-drop that cares about Delirium, and it's fine, but I think I prefer leaning more on the insect synergy. Speaking of that, we have Molt Tender, which is a 1-drop, which is kind of like a powered-down Deathrite Shaman. But even as a powered-down Deathrite Shaman, it's still pretty rad. And it works really well with all of the mill that we have going on, as well as the Surveil lands. Being able to drop a Molt Tender on 1 and then turn 2, hit a Surveil land, mill a card that you don't care about, exile it, and get mana, it's almost as good as, well, it's basically as good as that land coming into play untapped, which mitigates the downside of the Surveil lands in a really cool way and opens up a lot of flexibility in those early sequences. Plus, it allows us to ramp into Aatchik or Swarmweaver a turn sooner than we normally would. And it can also mill for us. Anyway, this little guy rules. I'm a big fan. Speaking of little guys that rule, man, my segues are very strained today. I know. Haywire Mite. 1-drop insect. When it dies, you gain 2 life, and you can exile non-creature artifacts or enchantments with it. Haywire Mite is another phenomenal card that in any other meta would be a really good sideboard option, but with Up the Beanstalk, with all the Overlords, with the Unholy Annex, with Caretaker's Talent running around, with Sheltered by Ghosts, I mean, at this point, I don't know, 2/3 of the frickin' meta are enchantments right now. That's a little bit of hyperbole, but only a little bit. Like, at the end of the day, this thing almost always finds a target. There's also a trick you can do with this against red right now. The premier red combat trick is Monstrous Rage. The way that Monstrous Rage works is it puts a monster rolled token onto the creature to give it trample. If you have a Haywire Mite blocking a creature that gets, the Monstrous Rage onto it, let it resolve, let everything happen, but before damage, you can sacrifice the Haywire Mite and blow up the monster roll. And so now all of a sudden that creature is blocked and it loses trample. And so you can deny that huge hit that in many cases that red deck is counting on to finish the game and gain 2 life on the way out for your troubles. So pretty darn fantastic, and that's a really clean little line against the mouse deck that I cannot recommend highly enough. That has won me games, straight up, because it buys you a turn. And against aggro, you just need to buy one turn a lot of the time. Yeah, it's pretty great. We also have Quag Feast. Kill stuff, fills our yard. I don't know what else I need to say there. It kills stuff and fills our yard. Broodspinner is also in here because as a spider, it does interact with Swarmweaver. I have yet to actually activate this thing. The 6-mana activation is probably not on the, in the cards at any point, although having more options in the back pocket for the late game is never a bad thing. But it's also just a 2/3 reach for 2, and you get the Surveils, which in this case will often be mill 2, unless you need to hit your land drops or something. But I gotta say, it's really great. It does all the things we need, and Googly Eyes. Googly Eyes, an official Magic art. I don't know what else I need to say. So let's get in some games with this thing. I've had some good luck with it thus far. Hopefully, the games that we record for this can show that off. I haven't played them yet, so we'll find out together, shall we? All right, here we go. I'm not loving the only 2 lands here, but the Restless Cottage is not a bad first land, and we're going to be able to follow it up with the Dredger's Insight or the Molt Tender Scavenger's Talent, rather. If we draw a land here, which, hey, we did, check that out, I think I'm going to go Scavy's Talent and Tendy. So there's a non-zero chance. Okay, I was about to say that our opponent might cut down our Molt Tender, but they did not this time. Hooray. You love to see it. All right, and so we have the Underground Mortuary and the Molt Tender down, which is always great. Deep Cavern Bat, my nemesis. I hate this card more than words can possibly explain, but here we are. Honestly, though, at this point, we don't have, a clear thing to take. I would probably take the Dredger's Insight. They're going to take Aatchik. Okay. Aatchik is straight up not a factor yet, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the Dredger's Insight. Let's go ahead and spin it to win it, and we did, in fact, hit the Grim Bauble, which is exactly what I wanted to see. We gain a life there. I'm going to go ahead and tap this for a black. We can go ahead and exile that land. That's fine. And here comes the Bauble to pick off the bat. Pop, pop. Give me my bug back. All right, excellent. I'm going to go ahead and just hit this. I suppose I could have hit the forest into the Molt Tender. That would have been a fine choice. But let's get the tap land out of the way and keep on moving, baby. That was a pretty good turn 3, I'd say. All right. Yeah, we did find the answer. So they do have the Unholy Annex, which could be problematic. It would be really nice if we could find a Haywire Mite or something of that nature, I think I'm going to go ahead and hit the Scavenger's Talent here. And I'm actually going to hold the Molt Tender back just to mill a card. It also kind of, I don't know, hints that we have something that we way don't. Shelter of the Apocalypse, everybody's favorite, favorite standard staple who has been around for entirely too long, in my opinion. But here we are. But also, nobody asked me, so here we are. Am I going to keep saying, so here we are? Yeah, just here we are. Okay. So, not going to lie. Right now, Aatchik is not looking super impactful. That Quag Feast mill was not a thing. Straight up unimpactful. That's okay. We have been hitting so many lands. It's not even funny. So here comes Aatchik, just rocking out a dude. We did ramp a little bit. We are a turn early, but that trigger was very unimpactful. Very unimpactful, frustratingly so. So, yeah, Nowhere to Run is going to deal with Aatchik, which fortunately we get the food token, but that's a big fat whatever. But now we're at a point where we are going to be able to, level up the Scavenger's talent up to 3 this next turn and bring Aatchik back. So, that's fine. Yeah, they're going to take the Broodspinner, which is a little bit of a bummer because it is a reach creature that could deal with that, but it's fine. And if they want to attack, they are absolutely welcome to kill this insect. Yeah, 4 damage is enough that I'm willing to lose a bug for that. But at the same time, you have an opportunity to kill one of my bugs for free. I'm not going to be delivering a really solid crackback here, so they're not wrong for doing it that way. Righty-roo. So, 5 cards in the yard. I'm going to go ahead and boost this noise. I'm going to go ahead and drop Swarmweaver here. I do need to exile a couple of cards. I'm going to prioritize exiling the lands first because our chances of milling another land later is much higher than milling a another sorcery. So leaving Quag Feast in there to keep us a little closer to Delirium, hopefully, I think is meaningful. All right. Tight. And they only have colorless mana open at the moment, which is great for me. I like that a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and sack these dudes to bring Aatchik back. Unfortunately, Aatchik does have a finality counter, but the fun part is now, because we sacrificed a permanent, I get to mill 6 frickin' cards. And that's before Aatchik triggers, so any insects or artifacts that we mill here, or any creatures or artifacts, I should say, they boost that. Unfortunately, those mills are actually garbage, if I'm honest. We did hit a couple of artifacts, which is fine, but a ton of lands. So it wasn't quite what I was hoping for, unfortunately. But the Swarmweaver Delirium is live. We got Death Touch on all of these fools, which is just exactly what I need to see. So that's great. Yeah. Let's just keep on cruising, baby. All right. So are there any creatures that are worth reanimating in my yard? The Broodspinner, I guess. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I don't know. Not terrible is a pretty low bar to clear, unfortunately. I'm just going to send those 3 dudes with a very clear intent. So we're just going to get in for 6 damage. That's fine. Here's my thought. Let's go ahead and throw this real quick. Now, unfortunately, the Archfiend of the Dross is going to just be absolutely peppering me as we do this, which is way not ideal, but doggone it. I'm going to do what I can do here. Let's bring back old Broodspins. And we're going to mill a bit. Yep, I know. So I'm going to get domed for 6, which does not feel great. And let's get our mill going. We do have some food that we can chow down on, though, which is pretty clutch. Go ahead and dump those. All right. So we got Death Touch for days. We've got life gain in the form of our food tokens and the Dredger's Insight. And we even have a Broodheart Engine that can bring back another Aatchik next turn and get some triggers moving, which is pretty cool, if you ask me. I think that's neat.
Happy to help. But
yeah, I got nothing, so if you want to friggin'... Yeah, you want me to sack a dude? That's fine. I'm more than happy to sack a dude. Still have 26 cards. Yeah, I'm going to keep milling me. I could turn this towards them here soon, but honestly, I want this Aatchik next turn to be just absolutely nutty. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to target me again. And the food off the Scavenger's talent is very real right now. Because between Sheldred and the Archfiend of the Dross, they're delivering quite a bit of drain on me. Just being able to hang on here is pretty huge. Pretty darn huge. And again, they don't have any good attacks because all my stuff death touches. So, all right. I'm feeling okay here. Blast Zone on 1. Oh, they're going to add 1 counter to it. Bump it up to 2. Okay. I mean, are they worried about my Dredgers inside? Do they want to blow that up? Is that the thought? It's reasonable. Yeah, that is reasonable. Honestly, if I were them, I'd probably go 1 there. I would have kept it on 1 and just fired it. Because I would have hit my Molt Tender, but more importantly, my Scavenger's talent. Okay, opponent. Now I'm going to start milling you. Let's keep it moving. All right. I mean, I'm not going to not rock out another one of these. Let's go. All right. So we've got do I just go friggin' full Monty on this thing and proceed to just sack the world? That sounded like a weird way to phrase that, but well, I said what I said. All right. Yeah, this Aatchik is going to take out somebody or deal a sizable chunk of damage. Either way, I'm cool with it. You know, I'm going to send the Molt Tender at Lils. Yeah, I'm going to send the bug at their face. So they do have the opportunity to block and save Liliana here if they want. Let's see what they do. I need to start applying a little bit of pressure here is my thought. Something's got to happen. I'm thinking I'm going to bump up this Scavenger's talent. Or no, yeah, no, I think I will. Ooh, they're actually just going to take it?
Sorry, I'm not interested in dying today.
That is an interesting choice of, voice lines there. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Going to sack that, and I'm going to start sending the mills. And we're doing the foods. So I'm going to sack the Broodheart Engine and these 2 tapped bugs to bring back this Aatchik. I'm going to go ahead and keep the tapped one just because it's significantly bigger. They both had finality counters, so it kind of didn't matter in that case. And I'm going to be making more than enough bugs. Yep. Losing a fair amount of life here, which does not feel great. But it is what it is. Let's get some mills going, gain a little bit there, make a whole bunch of dudes. All right. I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep because I have a sneaking suspicion the Sheoldred trigger on our draw is going to be relevant. If they full send here, the Archfiend triggers might be problematic. I do have 3 blockers that can deal with flying creatures, though, which is huge. Yeah, that getting hit kind of sucks. It had a finality counter on it, though, so it doesn't actually die, which is pretty great. You know, so the Archfiend didn't trigger there, which is pretty significant, actually. Yeah, no, if you want to send Shelly, you are welcome to. All right. I'm willing to make this trade. I'm going to take 2 damage here. We're going to make a couple foods. Bring on the foods, baby. And they get another ping off the Aatchik. All right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good here. I think we got this. You know, let's go ahead and draw. What do we got? Another Scavy's talent? No way. No way. That's pretty gnarly, if I'm honest. I really wish I had that Molt Tender back. Unfortunately, we don't. All right. Let's go ahead and chow down a little bit. So yeah, I'm attacking their library here. This might be silly. This might not be correct. Or it's brilliant. I'm not sure which. Because for each sacrifice permanent, they're gonna mill 2 cards. And we're gonna be able to sacrifice 3 on our end step here. That's only 6, that's not enough. So I guess I send 20 damage here. Yeah, actually, I guess I just stopped being cute and frickin' full send here, right? That's like 100% the correct thing to do. Because they'll block here, probably. And then they'll block here, then here. They'll gain 1, go up to 16, and then they still take friggin' 20, right? That's just, yeah. The Scavenger's talent was a distraction. This should close it out pretty comfortably. Ooh, okay, they want to keep Shelly alive, for sure, fair. I mean, this is still 20 damage, though. Like, they're going to go up to 16, but then they're done, son. Yeah, GG's opponent. All right. The Aatchik grind. We actually pulled it off. Scavenger's talent, bringing it home. Let's go. Alrighty, Roo. So, I love having a Haywire Mite in our opening hand. Also, Scavenger's talent is just, it's a thing of beauty. It really is. So, I think we're going to go ahead and keep this. Ah, and we are going up against red now. Excellent. I only, like, built this entire deck to, to work well against red. So, hooray! All right, I'm going to go ahead and sandbag my start a little bit. I'm going to establish the Scavenger's talent because the Fanatical Firebrand can pick off the Haywire Mite. I want to keep it. I want to keep the Haywire Mite back, kind of hold my cards close to the chest, and keep it open. Oh, all right. They're on Goblins. That was not what I expected. I was all right. Honestly, though, I don't hate that. I don't hate Goblins. I'm gonna go ahead and restart my camera because it says it's glitched out on me. And then let's throw the Haywire Mite. It's acting up a little bit today. Not sure what's going on there. But anyway. So the Haywire Mite at this point is a chump blocker that will gain me some life when it dies. You know, that's the role that it's playing at this point, and that I'm gonna have to be okay with that. Okay, the engines have been started. So do you attack with both? Well, or do you have a... Yeah, Dropkick Bomber. Damn it. All right, so let's go ahead and block this 3-3. Prevent a little bit of damage. There was no way for us to deny everything that was coming in. But we now are making foods. Nom nom nom. Which, last I checked, was pretty important. So let's go ahead and surveil a little bit. Actually, next turn, well... Next turn we can play a Broodspinner and food. You know what? I think I do want to draw the Broodspinner here. Yeah, so I'm just going to eat a food this turn, like brace for impact, and then hit Swarmweaver next turn. Yeah. Honestly, I think this was a little too fast for us, and which is a shame. Man, go wide Goblins, they're here. Also, Howl Squad heavy. Holy balls, that card is so good. That ultimately has been the thing, in my opinion, that Goblins have been missing, is the all Goblins have haste. That ability is so important for most kind of Goblin strategies that have existed throughout Magic's history. And there are a ton of different options that'll get you there. Yeah, and crank up Mob Boss. Yeah, GG's. Yeah. Goblins are back, everybody. The Dredger's Insight could be absolutely fantastic because that'll help us hit our land drops and then ultimately get us up to Swarmweaver. Hopefully this hand isn't too slow. Being on the play here is huge. Scavies. You know, I like, well, freaking, I do like Scavenger's Talent a lot. I'm going to go ahead and let it go, though, here. That does put an enchantment in our graveyard, gets us closer to Delirium. We'll see if that's relevant or not. I could have gone Blooming Marsh into Molt Tender, I suppose. That probably would have been the better line. Yeah, would have 100% been the better line. Oh, well. We'll be all right. I honestly locked onto the Dredger's Insight and just sort of had a tough time focusing on anything else. Let's go ahead and dredge that insight, baby. I want to start gaining life out of my yard. Come on now. Come on now. If I say, I know you don't have a one black interaction on this. The black counterspell is not a thing in current standard. As much as we would all like it to be. I think now's a great time for the last Blooming Marsh. Yeah. That seems D's. Seems D's. Ah, the Gumdrop Poisoner. Nice. Okay. Are they on an Orzhov life gain list, or are they doing... Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. This is not an uncommon idea. Deep Cavern bad, sure. And by sure, I mean thanks, I hate it. But you knew that. They're going to take the Broodspinner. I feel like Broodspinner is absolutely 100% the correct choice here. The fact that they're running Gumdrop Poisoner leads me to believe this isn't a Raise the Pass deck, which is a very common Orzhov setup nowadays, only because it's a 3-drop. It's a 3-drop creature, so you can't hit it with Raise the Pass. So I'd be surprised if that's what they're doing. Yeah, the Broodspinner strikes me as 100% the correct move. All right, let's go ahead and establish Tandy here, and then I would like some more insightful dredgings, if we could. Ooh, no land found, which I don't love that, but the Grim Bauble is a clean answer to the bat, so that will be all right. I hope we'll be all right. We might not be all right. We'll see. We'll see. Also, Aatchik in the yard is pretty great. I'm glad to see that. All right. Cool, cool, cool. They're going to rock out a Gix? Sure. Treat yourself. I'm hoping we top deck an untapped land. We do not. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Swarmweaver because this is going to just stymie their advance completely. You know, I don't want them attacking me. And having just a whole bunch of Death Touchers is a really good way to prevent that from happening. I was hoping to be able to play a land, hit the Grim Bauble, pop the bat, and then do that, but it's fine. And having double Swarmweavers, like, even if they answer this one, which they're in both removal colors. There's a good chance they'll be able to. But even if they do, I'm not that worried. All right, so they're going to send the bat in. I will 100% take out the bat. They knew that was going to happen. They really want that Amalia trigger. Sure. Treat yourself. Get after it. Well, they knew I have the Bauble as well. So they knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I had the means to kill the bat, and I would have been able to kill Amalia. If that Explorer didn't find a non-land. So that was a wise play by them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not stoked on it, but it was correct. All right. We got a Broodheart Engine up in here. I'm also going to go ahead and rock out a Molt Tender. And at this point, we could start attacking. Don't think I want to do that just yet, though. Yeah, they're hovering Swarmweaver. That makes me a little nervous. Right now, with Gix on their side, attacks could be really damaging. If they get to draw cards, we could be in trouble. So I think I'm just gonna batten down the hatches here. You know what? I will go ahead and. Do I want to? Actually, no, because I don't want to lose. I guess we could eat the Broodheart Engine. Nah, you know what? I think I'd rather have my Molt Tender untapped. Yeah, I don't want them to have any kind of combination of removal that gives them a clean attack on me. I don't want that to be a thing. All right, opponent, what you got? They've got 2 mana open. I'm assuming that at least one of my dudes is going to die. Yeah, they're going to hit the flyer. Well, one of my Death Touchers, sure. Fair enough. The other great thing about Molt Tender is, like, even if I don't have to block with it, I can still just mill a card. Which, in this deck, that's value. You know? I freaking love this little guy. So we're going to get some value out of this thing no matter what. Yeah, and up to one target creature gets -X, or X the amount of life you've gained. So that could be a thing. All right, Zoraline coming on in. Are they going to pay the 2 for the bat? Yeah, they sure do. That makes sense. And this is probably going to take the Bauble. That'd be my guess. I'd be shocked if they don't. The thing is, though, I have an Aatchik in my yard. Or I have another Swarmweaver in my hand that I can just play out and just get more flyers. I feel like that's a pretty shrewd play, honestly. So they might actually want to take the Swarmweaver here. Although in that case, I bauble their bat and then rock out my other Swarmweaver anyway, because I do have the mana for that. And we're going to get the Surveil and the Broodheart. Yeah, I'm liking my position. So this opponent's deck, what they're doing, they're going to take the Broodspinner? Okay. What our opponent is doing here wants to be attacking. They really, really, really want to be aggressive. Yeah, we had a Verge. That would have been nice. Go ahead and dump the Broodspinner. Haywire Mite, yeah, these are fine. But only fine. Not particularly amazing, unfortunately. Yeah, if that Deep Cavern Bat could just fold real quick, I'd appreciate it. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw down this Spinner of Broods. Yeah, just put a whole bunch of stuff down. That seems like a great idea to me. Do we want to... You know what? I think I do. The time has come to establish the Scavenger's talent. All right. Yeah, no attacks yet. Because again, so Zorline has an attack trigger. Gix is a combat damage trigger. I ultimately just need to shore up our defenses and not let them through. That's the most important thing. So they're going to be able to gain life. Amali's going to be able to do stuff. The Gumdrop Poisoner is going to be able to kill something here, which means I'm probably going to lose my Death Touch, which, you know, sucks. But it'll be fine because we have another Swarmweaver in hand. We'll manage. Yep, here comes the Poisoner. I'm assuming they're going to hit the Swarmweaver. They might go after the Flyer, but yeah, no, the Weaver's 100% the right move. Cool, so we are going to get some foods. And now all of a sudden my blocks look way worse than they did a second ago. So do they send it? With the understanding that some of my stuff is just going to die here, which, yeah, they will, and that's fine. All right, they don't have the mana for that, but they do get to gain a life, so Amalia Benavides Aguera does get to grow. Okie dokes. So, gonna block here, gonna block here, gonna block here, and unfortunately, nothing on their side dies. Which is a bit of a bummer. I'm gonna mill. Yeah, that Quag Feast would have been decent, but, you know, that's okay. We'll live. Finally, more land. Took us a minute, but we got there, I guess. All right. Whoa, Swarmweaver. All right. I'm going to stop before I get copyright struck. All right. So here we go. We got the Swarmweaver live. But they have a Shelter by Ghosts in hand, so they don't give a crap. Yeah, this... come on. All right. I'm trying to deny them resources, but with Gix over there and without a clean way to kill Gix, it's going to be hard. That said, we have the Broodheart Engine, so even if they deal with the Swarmweaver, I will be able to reanimate Aatchik and go nuts. I'm hoping we find some more land so I can start doing some, like, multi-spells. But I'll also, actually, I suppose the Haywire Mite in response to the Shelter by Ghosts would be just fine. So they'll get one decent attack here. They'll get a decent attack here. But that's okay. Yup. Yeah, I'll manage. Yeah, Swarmweaver is a pretty important piece of my, all the stuff I've got going on here. Oh, do they have a... No, they don't have a bat in there, thank goodness. All right, tight. Gumdrop Poisoner's back again. Tell yo, friends. All right, so we're going to block here. We're going to block here. I'm going to take 6. They're going to draw 2 cards, and I'm going to be hella sad. No, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and block here as well, because they're going to gain so much life. This Gumdrop Poisoner is just going to be a frickin' insta-kill on anything they want. So let's just friggin' mill another land. Yeah, great. Love it. Cool. It's fantastic. Absolutely tan-freaking-fastic. All right. At least we get a food. I'm going to pretend like that's meaningful. All right. So, yeah, reanimating Aatchik here is probably going to be our best bet. Well, and actually, how do we want to do that? No, I'm shy, mana-wise, from leveling this up, which would be really nice, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a bummer that we don't have that, but it'll be all right. Well, do we want to reanimate Aatchik, or do we want to just get Swarmweaver back? Like, I can just get Swarmweaver back and have Death Touch again. That seems pretty important. Or secret option C. We just play another Swarmweaver. Now, they have the Gumdrop Poisoner, so they'll, again, be able to kill it, like, for sure. But with the Haywire Mite, we'll be able to open this thing up again. What am I missing? This attack seems incredibly aggressive. Okay, so they're going to be able to pull the Haywire Mite, which cuts off my Mite, which sucks, but what can you do? I can cry long and hard about it. Which, let's be real, I was probably going to do that anyway. So, all right. So we block here. We block here. And we block here. They hit us for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Zoraline and Amalia both eat it. And when Amalia dies, the Swarmweaver is going to come back. So the fact that this one dies is honestly just fine. Yeah, that full send was pretty aggressive. And I think I'm going to... They're going to be able to draw so many cards that they'll probably be fine here, but... I don't know. That busted up what they were doing pretty well. Now, they have so much life that, honestly, I think the Scavenger's Talent Mill Out is going to be my best bet. Because they are down to 35 cards. So that's one thing this deck can do. Which, of course, with Zoraline over there, could be problematic, potentially. But we'll see. Yeah, and they gained 1,000,000 life, so this Gumdrop Poisoner is going to be able to kill the Swarmweaver. Which, you know, sure. Get it, get it. Don't stop. Get it, get it. Yup. -17, -17. That seems like a lot. Check me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a fair amount. All right, we got a Darkstar Augur in the mix as well. Sure. Springing off. Yeah. I need more land. I'm not going to complain about not having land and then surveil land away. That is counterproductive at best. All right. I'm going to fully load this beast. Going to sack this. 2 of those bad boys. And we are going to go grab the Emerald Radion. And I'm going to start milling them. Yeah, because this is Zoraline, Amalia, 2 Sheltered by Ghosts leaving. Let's go. Oh, that feels great. All right. Woo! Now, they do have Battlecry and the Sanguine Evangelist, and I only have 2 flying blockers, so I might be in trouble on that front. But maybe I'm not. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens here. So next turn, we can bring Swarmweaver back using the Broodheart Engine or the Scavenger's Talent. Either way, we're just living our best life. Haywire Mite is also a permanent that we can sack to get a trigger there. Yeah. And with this going on the board on the ground, they don't have any ground attacks anymore. So this is nice. All right. You gonna bust my bug there, bud? Yeah, you're gonna throat Aatchik. That makes sense. You should. Honestly, I was resigned to the fact that the Aatchik pings were not gonna get me there anyway. So that's all right. Yeah, having to pay 3 for the Haywire Mite does suck, to be sure, but we'll live. We'll be all right. They're gonna friggin' full send here. Yeah, bring it in, bud. I'm gonna block here. I'm gonna block 2 here. I'm going to block 3 here. I'm going to go ahead and chump block you. Chump block. Well, not chump block. I'm gonna kill you. I'm taking 6 here. So that's going to put me down to 2. And I believe the Convocation on the end step, I'm going to get domed for 1. So that's a thing. They got 22 cards left in their deck. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. Let's see if we can pull this off. All right. So we got our surveil. I would like the land. I think that's going to be important. All right. So I'm going to throw that. First things first, I'm going to eat this. You're going to go ahead and mill 2. I am then Going to Broodheart Engine out. The Swarmweaver. This is another mill, too. Full send because I don't have any ground forces anyway. It's only 14 damage. They can easily take it and not care, but let's see if they, maybe out of a little bit of fear, block something. Yeah, they don't. That's correct. They shouldn't. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sack these 3 dudes, and I'm going to bring back another Swarmweaver, and I'm going to keep the one with the finality counter on it. We're going to gain 2 off the Dredger's insights. We get more mills going on. And we're going to make 2 more dudes off this Swarmweaver coming in. Is that going to be able to get us there, I wonder? We're up to 8. We got 4 flying blockers. And they do have to draw a card there. Yeah, they got 9. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think our out being their library was the right move. They have 6 flyers. I only have 4 blockers. A lot of things can happen here. A lot of things could happen here. That said, though, the Scavenger's talent giving me the ability to sacrifice 3 things. So actually, wait a minute. They have 9. This will be 3 things. It's 2 mil apiece. Yeah, between that and the food tokens, we easily have it here. So they got to kill me this turn, which is not impossible. It's very possible, but I don't know. All these flyers off the Swarmweaver seem really good. Amalia, come on out here. These explorers actually... Yeah, you're not going to want to move that. No, you... Okay, that's fine. Hey, don't let me stop you. Another convocation. Okay, sure. Those are pings. Yeah, the bats. Those are not a threat to me right now. The amount of life they're gaining is, very real. The chance of me killing them through their life total was 0. Like, that was not going to happen. But shifting focuses, I think got us there. All right. Yeah. Bring it on in. I'm for sure blocking here, 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 and here. Taking 2 in combat, and I'm going to take 2 on the end step. That makes a food for me. All right. Excellent. So yeah, the blend of hand hate and, the gain drain action that they've got going on over there looks pretty good. Like, this is a cool deck. I do like the Orzhov builds. Nothing but love, but yeah. All right. I'm going to chow down on some food. And I'm going to go ahead and mill them on out. And one more time, a little bit louder now. Woohoo, we got there. Thank you for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I had a lot of fun with that deck. Those games ended up being way grindier than I expected, but at the same time, we were able to grind out and pull it off. It was delightful. So yeah, Peasy, did you have fun? I know, right? Anyway, so thank you so much for checking it out. And also a huge thank you to my patrons. Y'all are freaking legendary. I really appreciate the continued support. Thank you for doing what you do. And yeah, if you want to see more deck techs like this, please like and subscribe. I've been trying to get one of these out per week, but if you want to see more gameplay, the best place to do so is over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/hamhocks42. I'm over there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday during the day. I would love to see you there. It's great. We have a ton of fun. We do viewer-submitted decks on Tuesday, and we do battles with viewers on Friday. So if you want to get in on that, become a part of it, please don't hesitate. It would mean a lot. I'm also going to MagicCon Chicago. So if you're watching this the week that it posts, come find me there. I'm going to be handing out tokens, and I'm going to be representing Team Magic Jank, which is it's a delightful team to be a part of. So we're going to have a special treasure token, and I also have beast tokens as well as elephant tokens that we're going to be handing out, which actually include artwork that resembles, this little fur baby here. Anyway, again, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I'll catch you on the next one.